computer. So now you still can run away. Elisabeth, is it okay that I just mention what we were talking about?
Yes.
Because it's very interesting and it's probably a nice opening for us for today. Elisabeth was explaining in a very short manner that she was working in IT, had a burning thing, and that she started realizing that she mostly was driven by fear before, and now was starting to find other ways than that the driver as fear. And that's a very interesting thing. Together with my partner Patricia, we are discussing a lot what is driving us. And lately we've been working on the pineal gland a lot. And we feel and understand that the pineal gland is holding a lot of our traumas, a lot of our emotions which haven't been solved. Maybe only for this year, maybe even for many more this life, for many more lives. It's my belief system that we are all multidimensional beings, that we are connected directly to the source, and that's why the hand is on the heart. And Nico is waving to Lex, and we're all waving to Lex. Welcome. The hand on the heart is making a connection possible for the photons, as I call it, the photon of the source. We have each and everybody of us in the heart. So making that connection will support whatever we do, and it takes the mind, how do you say it, the monopoly of the mind, takes it away, brings it down, that you can filter everything through your heart, which is, in my belief system, a very powerful tool, and it's very handy to have our hand on the heart. And since we are still moving houses in Spain, I haven't found my duct tape, but I will do it soon. Put duct tape over on the heart so that you can try and experience to have your hand on your heart as much as possible will help. It's in small decisions. It's in feeling the connection with your heart, feeling nature, feeling everything which is out of balance of your own balance. It's helping. So that's a nice introduction. And Elisabeth, is there something specific you want to work on apart from getting aligned with your higher self?
Well, to say things like really short, the last 2 years where I've set myself free, I've learned that I have a self. I've recently declared my independence from, let's call it, narcissistic influences in my family.
Yeah.
And instead of cutting the cord, I just declared my independence as a sovereign being, and that has propelled peace in my system. And even yesterday, I was with a group, and I felt like I was going through a birth, like born again, but in like the birth of being a sovereign person. And I believe this is it's part of the collective. We need to understand it's so important to find our truth and heart space to be able to navigate in the world. So let's say birthing help, helping to facilitate this letting go of the past and stepping into the now. In strength.
Okay. For me, my belief system is telling me that the more and more we are connected to the heart, the better we understand that everything around us, everything we see on this outer world is pure distraction, seduction, is taking us away from the heart. So every time something is taking us away by mind, by observation or whatever, it's taking us, it's a program directing us away from the heart. So every time we have to rethink about getting connected to the heart. That's why the duct tape was for. So you find that connection always. So what I'm going to do is to make some, of course, I make some source codes, and I will direct them on specific things you were mentioning. So thank you. If you later on feel that there need some addings or additions on it, just tell me. And I will move on to Rhonda now. Hi, Rhonda.
Hi, how are you?
You're here. Yeah.
I made it.
So special. So is there anything?
I'm so glad.
Is there anything specific for you?
I had something open up right here, and it's caused some purging, and I didn't know if you could work on it, if it was a good thing, or, but I feel like things are being released, and I think it's a good thing. But yeah, I was thrown up and stuff, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So I immediately you lately you sent me some light language codes you made yourself, and the
Yeah.
first thing I was writing to you today, because I didn't put earlier time on it, is that trust system. And it's again, this trust system is something we're going to work on with you.
Please.
In my observation, everything is perfectly orchestrated for everyone on this part of the universe.
Mhm.
So whatever we experience in the outer world is the distraction of that everything is perfectly orchestrated in our inner world. So every time we think without our hand on the heart that something is not, shouldn't be like this or whatever, put your hands on your heart, start feeling that everything is perfect, and start trusting that. So and that's sometimes it's hard to understand, but because there's so much distraction, and it's like in light speed everything comes it's targeted at you, but sometimes it's hard to do that understanding. But do realize you are a multidimensional being. You are in control of much more because of your connection with the source, and just start getting back into your heart, getting back into trust, clearing your pineal gland in connection with your heart, and understand that everything what is happening, if you connect it to your inner world, is being for the perfect moment in time. So trust. Anything more for you, Rhonda? Or is that?
I'm just glad to be here.
Okay, super. Lex. You're muted, Lex.
And that noise be a bit less, if possible. Yesterday I was in Kooten.
For a second. Yeah. Again, Lex.
Yesterday I was in a Kooten, and we were working with sexual energy.
Oh, you naughty boy.
There's nothing naughty about it. It can be, of course. I don't deny that one. And a lot of things happened for me because I was also put into the light almost. I mean, in the sense that after a woman first, she said that something is happening in my womb a lot, and then I said, you are doing it for a lot of people actually. And then the teacher was really nice. He said, what is this reflecting for you? And I came into my history of sexual things that happened. I don't call it a name. And there was a lot of work on that, and I feel I'm still in that process of, because there was a lot of tension in my groins and everything. There still is, I think. I did some de-armoring there before, but And for me, it's quite hard to really go deep into the body, to go really into I did that when we were working, and I really created a kind of in my pelvis there was a crystal cave, almost, you can say, whatever you call it. It was filled with crystals. It was really beautiful. I got this glimpse. So a lot of work has been done, but it's still in process. And it's also the connection to the heart.
Where do you want to be helped in today? Because you're still in that process, and which is logical, because such is it's a very deep process.
Yeah,
But-
it's a very deep process. Yes,
Yeah.
I feel what I
support
need help is to go deeper into into my lower belly, really, where my inner child is resident. Everything needs to go there more.
Okay. We work on that. Welcome, Jessica. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Is there
How's
anything-
everybody doing? How are you?
Everybody's doing great, and we're happy that you are here. And
Yes.
I'm just doing the wish round, so if everybody can give their wish. So now it's your moment.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. So is this like a personal, individual, or like a collective?
No, it's always for the collective, but you focus on your personal wish,
Mhm.
and it works for the collective as well. So you don't
So
have to worry for the collective. That's taken.
Okay. Well, currently I am working on my telekinesis, so psychokinesis projects. And so that's currently what I'm working on. So I would say for myself, for the collective, working on mental awareness and recognizing the powers within us, that we are expanded creators of our reality, and whatever help we need with that specifically.
Okay, interesting. I wrote something down. If you are not completely satisfied in the first round, you just fine tune it, and then we can move in that. And I think it's for me it was quite clear. Okay. Thank you for that, Nico.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
For me, for me on a personal matter, I would like to just continue being focused as I am right now, within the direction of my creating with my courses, my spiritual courses, my teachings, and everything like that, trusting. And there's a second part to it. The second part itself is I would like to actually have you in your collective and work with all of us here, where we act as a battery and we send out awakening to the world, awakening to the connecting of people, awakening to who they are. Forget about what other people's truths are. Like people to really anchor into who they are and really start feeling the awesomeness of who they are, regardless of where they're at. I feel that humanity right now needs more of a connection to self. And I would like us as a battery, if you can think of it that way, when you're doing your channeling or whatever your light language, that we can be there supporting it as a family that we are, the six of us here. And whoever actually joins us in this recording that is seeing it at a different time, like join us just by you being here and connecting within the frequency of who we are together. I really would like that.
Okay. Just that's all. That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, super. No, perfect. So put your hand on your heart, close your eyes, and what I'm first gonna do is everybody sit just and relax and trust that everything is always for the best orchestrated. We have a part of the source in our hearts. We connect to our hearts. We have a pineal gland where a lot of storage is of emotions, things we haven't really worked out perfectly yet, but we can take them away. We can clear them. There's a lot of trust issues, and that's not a word. It's not an issue, but there's a lot of trust related items for everyone. And all we do here for each individually is always for the collective as well. So close your eyes and I'll start connecting you to the photon of the source in your heart by doing this physically for every cell in your body. Our beings will help us to connect that even stronger. Connect every system in your physical body to the photon of the source in your heart. All these layers around us, the energetical parts. We are multidimensional beings of much more power than we even can realize in our man-made brains. So first of all, we're going to take away any programs, patterns, or layers connected to distrust, disbelief of the power we have. So everything connected to not being trustful in the power you have, we are erasing at this moment. So what we're starting to do is building up the trust, believing in ourselves, the power of our heart, the light in our heart. And by building up this belief system, this trust system, we're gonna connect and remember all the powers we still have. And then we got this system in our human body which has senses, but there are so many senses around it, so it's much more, it has much more awareness and big size. So we're gonna remember that we are connected to the five of our senses to the much more senses around it. And everybody has different purposes with these senses, so it's okay. We don't compare, we never need to compare. So it's a combination of trust, remembrance, clearing of patterns which are not more needed or allowed to function here. We always only can focus on what is in our inner world, so we don't need to focus on others. So focus on your inner world and you change every aspect of others. So what we focus on is our trust system, our belief system, the connection in our heart. Connection in our heart creates the relationship with all the beings around us, and they can help us, like our higher selves, our guides. All of them is activated by the belief system, the trust system. So in our human aspect, we have the pineal gland filled up with old emotions not being processed as they could have been. It's no blame, it's just okay. So what I'm going to do is to help clear the pineal gland, the area of the pineal gland itself, of each and everybody of us. Clean it. And erase all these old issues, things, items. Re-establish the connection with the throat, third eye, and heart. This will also help to remember the kinesthetic connaissance we have, interrelation with others, other beings, feeling nature, because there's so many beings there you haven't even realized of. So the base is still the trust, the connection of the heart, the trust we feel. And every time we feel that we are taken away from this trust, you just reconnect to the heart. And let go everything what is not needed anymore. Being the being we are, stepping into the authenticity and the purity in the heart, we will be that sovereign, beautiful being. The only thing we have to do is accept that every other being is different, uncomparable, in a different stage on his process, on his flight. So we are all unique, we are all perfect, everything is perfectly orchestrated. Trust the system, trust the source, trust yourself, trust your heart. Everything is perfectly orchestrated. We all have a purpose. We don't need to know it. We can feel it later on. And the more you get into connection with your heart, the more open you are to remember everything what is needed to be remembered. So maybe Lisbeth, it's good for you, or maybe it's daring, but as a first timer, maybe it's okay to just have some feedback. You are muted, so please unmute yourself. You are muted. I did it because I heard some sounds. Sometimes it's a technique. Yeah, thank you.
So
yeah.
Since I left my job 2 years ago, I've had a radical shift, and from being rational to being introduced to people that do light language, universal channelers that I've become friends with, and I'm open, and I'm still wondering, like, do I feel it? So but I'm not questioning that, and I know that like I know that behind everything there's beauty, and any love that is given, you know, respectfully receive
Mm.
in any way. So, and I'm happy to, in a way, I sense of being able to share it with, like, expand the love. You know, it's whatever I receive, it's not only for myself, it's in a way I feel this me and the big me, or the collective or cosmic. You know, I'm very it's sort of embodying my inner knowing that I'm connected, that we are all connected. And so it's beautiful.
Mm.
And I love it.
And just keep being open, and whatever your mind is not taking into realization yet, it's always getting there where it's needed. So, because everything is perfect, everything is perfectly orchestrated. You were meant to be here, and to receive whatever can be received right now. Sometimes it helps to re-listen to a recording, and at the right moment in time, those codes will have their effect for you to understand. And maybe sometimes you don't even need to understand. So don't keep connected to the heart, and everything is, I always say in typical Dutch, the rest is bullshit. So just, that's the Dutch word is that. So thank you for that. Is there
Yeah,
anything
thank you.
you need more? Because I will work on trust and getting more into the heart a little bit more. Is there anything you need more?
No, I'm what do you call it? Full. Thank you.
Okay, super. Nico.
For me, it was I felt like it was more of a recalibration of the trusting and the knowing that I was receiving, that I was on the right path from an individual aspect. So it was really nice. It was really nice. The lessons that confirming just the lesson of what I'm going through right now, with the aspect of full contemplation of the self, and recalibrating that aspect. So it was really, really beautiful. It was like a second teaching onto a teaching that I was receiving. Yeah, I actually saw Rhonda as well too. Rhonda, I could feel that there was something happening on the left side of you. Anyways, I was seeing a little bit of work that was happening, Rhonda. I kept on going back to you, Rhonda, where I could actually see there was some work happening on the left, on that side that you were talking about. So, yeah, I kept on going back and forth from my own thing to Rhonda.
So let's go to Rhonda then. You're muted, Rhonda.
Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah, it was beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, and the pressure, it's not as bad as it was. I was having it's okay though. It's whatever needs to happen right now. Yeah, yeah.
Any wishes, additional wishes?
More, the trust is what she was saying. I need more of that too. With what's been going on in my life, I think more trust, more trust in my intuition. Yeah.
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 And it's valid for everybody. It's for me, it's for Patricia, it's for Jessica, Lex, Nico, Elisabeth, everybody. So it's completely normal. And it even, for me, it even seems like that on a daily basis, we have to not really work on it, but just step into that trust. It's not like working. It's not like you need to do something. Or my language in Dutch is really like, you must do this, I must do this. It's really like very, very strong and strict. But in fact, it's just like, be, enjoy. And whatever happens, go back to your heart and trust whatever happens is okay. And some of us have a different route. And some, if you compare, you're already sliding off the trust path. You don't need to compare, because there's only one comparison you can make, and it's with yourself, your inner world. And for the rest, it's not important, because this is a planet where everything is like distracting from your inner world. So comparison or working on something is taking you a little bit by little bit away from the heart, from the inner world. So just trust, go back to your heart, be soft, be gentle, use the ease and grace which is around you, which is inside of you. The pineal gland clearing helps to remove all this, not all, parts of the patterns which are still attached to our system. So I will do some more pineal gland on that. Pineal gland is it, I think. Or the pineapple gland, so as we say in Dutch. And but be gentle to yourself. Every time you feel it, there's something of the hardness is coming up. Realize that you can be soft as well and be gentle to yourself, even if the whole world around you looks different than what you at that moment would love to. Especially then, be gentle to yourself. So beautiful. And when you are a little more in trust and gentle, all these things which are happening from the outer worlds into your brain or into your body, from galactical energies or whatever they come from, will be more subtle. My belief system. Jessica.
Yes. Thank you, Robert. I think you really nailed it with the trust. And I'm listening to everyone's stories, and I know my path and my journey every day, and so much of it, it's so interesting that it's all these levels of different types of trust. And so much of it is just trusting ourselves to trust a process that we don't have defined set parameters, right? There's not like a defined, this is how it's supposed to be, so just trust that this is the outcome. There's so many different ways to get to, where we want to be. Mm-hmm. And I think the trusting part is so universal, because it's almost like the just having that little bit of faith, and the faith is sometimes placed outside of us. But when it's placed inside and we come back to who we are, and trusting that when we choose the positive, when we choose the gratitude in any situation, doesn't matter what it looks like, could be awful, but we find the frequencies of gratitude, of love for ourselves, and the knowing that, it's going to be okay. We start attracting that positive aspects, and I think that helps us trust a little bit more, right? So when we're shifting, it's like, okay, something's happening. So we're always longing for that confirmation that what we're doing, is the right thing. At least that's for me as well. So trust is a big part of it, but I don't think it's as difficult as I think we make sometimes it out to be. I think it's just so subtle, like you said, Robert, and all the little tiny moments. And it was interesting, Rhonda, because Nico said that he saw things on your left side, but I also noticed your sweet little, is it your puppy? Yeah, he's over there on your left, and as soon as Robert was going, he just was off doing something out the window, but that's all on your left side. Your window's on your left side. I think that, your little fur angel over there helps you too with.
Oh yeah, he does. He's sweet.
I always perceive the left side of carrying our emotions and stepping into like empowerment, but trusting that our feelings, you know, that we're having right now are guiding us and are a big indicator. And if we ignore those things, sometimes we have, for me personally, I get the pressure on the left side. I get a lot of stuff on my right side, which is like my masculine, what I associate masculine with.
Here.
Oh,
Yeah.
on your right. So for me, that's always, you know, sometimes a lot of that is like is speaking my truth and taking action. So sometimes when I'm not taking the action that I want to take, maybe because I don't know what that's supposed to be exactly, or it's because I'm afraid of judgment from others or judging myself in any way, or just a lot of that is just movement that needs to flow. And what I do to balance out the both sides is I imagine, you know, the Taurus, you know, the emanating from the heart center. So kind of like it looks like the infinity. That's why it's a big symbol for us. And I just imagine energy just flowing through through the heart center down, and then back up to the left center, and kind of do that in different parts of my body. So I'll do that in my legs, and then I'll start out in the stomach area, then I'll start out in the heart, and then I'll go into the brain and literally connect the right and left hemispheres of the brain. And then do the entire body. And that usually helps because I do get the pressure in the right ear, the right side of my head, and then the back of my head. So I know that there's some interconnectedness that needs to flow between, you know, both hemispheres of the body. So that helps me as far as like a visualization just goes. But a lot of that, if you got one side that's stuck, it's usually your flow, and there's some resistance for me personally. I don't know if it resonates for you. To my path, and it could very well be a lot of trust for yourself, and maybe just in everything in general. I mean, it's like a huge I always say this is our playground, but we have to trust that what we're playing with is also, you know, for our highest good, right? So and I think though that just comes with practice. You just have to practice it.
And Jessica, I believe that the practice is also more like playing. When we take the hard work and the pressure out of it, it's getting more like kids are playing. But everybody's always telling you you should be like a kid, and you're open, and there is no boundaries, and everything is possible, and your fantasy is still working, because they are still connected to their inner world, and we just were taught in school or by parents or by systems or churches or religions, whatever, do something in a certain way, which is not a
Right.
natural way mostly. So when we start playing again or start learning to play again, and in my for myself, it's the first step is to be easy, soft, and gentle to myself. And every time when something happens, I realize, okay, it should be in my inner world, and then it slowly starts coming back, and then that's the playground we learn here. In my opinion, that the rest is not important. We don't.
Right.
Who cares what the neighbor is thinking of me? I moved to Spain, and my neighbor is thinking mucho about me because she doesn't understand me. And then people start making things their new truth, but it's completely not important what they are thinking, as long as I feel that I am pure and that I'm connected with my heart, preferably connected to nature as well. Then everything starts to be more gentle, more in flow, more in a happy flow. So it's like the subtlety. Is that the right word? Yeah, subtleties in our now lives on earth. The more we get into this gentleness, the softness, as soon as we look outwards, we should just mirror it and go back inwards, because there everything is happening. And they also
Yes.
say, if you want to change the world, change yourself, start with yourself, something like that. I start
Yeah.
really understanding what that means. And it's true. If you don't watch any
Yeah.
news things like that, it's easier. Yeah, Jessica?
Yeah. I was going to add I think what we call distractions are really just these mirror-like, right? Like you were saying, aspects that help us to go back in. And the more we're in, the less the outside world distracts us and pulls us out. But when it does, it's just it's a lesson, I guess, or an opportunity. I always say they're opportunities to take a look at what's going internally. And move to the positive. I always say that. Move to the positive. Find the positive in everything. It's not always easy to do, but there's some positive spin to everything, and then that just pulls you right back in. Yeah.
Beautiful. Is there anything you want to add in your wish?
Yeah, I'm loving what Jessica's saying. I'm loving what Robert is saying. I'm loving it. You know, all of you guys, honestly, here, you guys are so valuable. We're so valuable, all of us. You know, we're so beautiful in our natural state, guys. Like, we are so amazing. And what's so beautiful, I just wanted to say this, but this is what I see. And it's so beautiful that, you know, when we're working on the pineal gland right now, and the way I interpret, this is my interpretation, okay? This is nobody's truth, but what I say right now, it can change tomorrow. But it's a connection, the way I see it. So when I work on clients' pineal gland, I see it as an antenna. So when I'm recalibrating their antenna itself, they start actually receiving more of the information that is really their truth. Nothing outside of, it's their truth, right? And I feel that this work that we're doing here today is so important because it's about coming back to our original self, whatever that is, whatever we have to do, whatever it is. But as long as you can be the thumbprint, the spot, the stuff that takes all the little garbage away. And this is the beautiful thing about why we're here today. This is how I feel. We're actually getting recalibrated, Robert, from the aspect of the work that you're providing us. So we can actually feel more of the truth coming through us, of really who the original aspect is. And this is so very beautiful because I needed it. I needed it. So, and I can hear it, we all need it. So it's so beautiful. So I just wanted to say this, you know, like, it's so beautiful, this work. Bless you.
Super, thank you. Jessica, I was stuck with, is there anything you want to add to your wishes for at this moment?
You know, I think more for, in myself and for everyone, I would say the recalibration of the choosing the positive, so as I was saying, so always being having the opportunity to choose the positive, and knowing what that clearly looks like for us so that we can, constantly choose that, I think would be helpful. Mm-hmm.
Super, thank you. Lex, you're muted.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
There's so much to say, but I try to keep it short. Thank
you,
but, now, what I really felt when every word you were pronouncing in light language came into my heart like I was being punched in my heart almost, not in a violent way, huh? Mm-hmm. Really, really gentle. It was really beautiful. And in the end, there was this vision in me. I still see it. It's like there was a giant crystal, like what is it in English? Bergkristal, hoe heet het? This. What is that in English? I don't know.
The clear crystal.
Yeah, the clear crystal,
Quartz. Quartz?
Yeah.
Quartz?
I think so, yeah.
And it was lying on a mirror or something that was mirroring it. So the light from the sky was going through it. So it was really, really beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. And where I'm busy with at the moment is very interesting. It's coming from Buto and
Yeah.
from Tai Chi. And from Qigong also. That the eye has a lot of our eyes have a lot of energy. They're the aspect that has the most energy in it, almost, and people use that kind. So if you can have a crystal eye almost, so it is not you don't focus almost on what you see. You walk into the world, see everything without attaching to anything. It's not an easy thing. Huh? This is a long process. It's a long process, I must say this one. But it really brings you into the body.
Mm.
Because the eye is really so focused on the outside almost with everybody. So if you can relax that and have a kind of crystal eye, this is really beautiful. I feel this when I do my Tai Chi in the park, when I dance, everything, yeah.
Okay.
That's just what I wanted to see.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And as always, Lex, your heart is so big and your belief system is so opposite from what your heart is doing. So what I'm writing down is your inner belief of your pure light to enhance that, to make that bigger, to make that stronger for you. So, and so I remember I said one day to you that you focus on a lot of systems, manners, ways, and they're all already in your system. You are those. It's just helping you to remember them. Start being that. So I will work on that as well. And it has, it's just in combination with Jessica said, is the calibration, recalibration of the positive.
Yeah.
It has to do with Nico is saying, it is that the focusing where we are aiming at. It is to do with what Elisabeth is saying, is the trust system where we all have issues in, and that we are all one. We are all having this frequency differentiation of the right frequency or the balance frequency, whatever that will be. It's always that we are starting by distraction and seduction, that we think something is not okay with us because there are so many others doing other things, but we are all created to do other things. Because as a whole, as one, all aspects have been needed to be checked or experienced. So when I see you and when I hear you, it's like one big heart with so much purity in.
Or the compliment that I speak from my heart every time.
Yeah, and it's beautiful to see the way you were growing. And this is not only for Lex because it's for everybody, but Lex is now in this discussion, so that's why I'm saying it. So let's do a little final round. I'm wrapping up everything as good as possible. I will. And close your eyes. Put your hand on your heart if you don't have it yet. Remember, all these light language codes coming from the source. I can create them. I'm a key maker, key holder, and it's like laser beams getting at the right place. If you don't feel it right at this moment, trust it will come there where it's needed. Reconnecting every system, every energy field of everybody listening to this, to the heart, to the photon of the source in their heart, asking all beings around us to help and support us. Talking about recalibrating or calibrating into the positiveness of all. Of course, that is related to the pineal gland, but it's clearing even more that space of the pineal gland, connecting to the third eye, the eyes itself, crystals for legs. Calibrating that, calibrating also the senses and the, must speak on a word, the telekinetic aspects of them. Feel the faith, the trust, the connection with the source, the connection in your heart, the connection with all beings in all galaxies, in all universes. You're never alone. Trust your inner systems, all our experiences. Grow, understand the grow. Connect to your purity. And these experiences always show us the difference in duality. So you can always see something, choose to go to the positive, and then you create a 0 point. And that's all happening in the clearance of your pineal gland by your own free will choices. And trust, trust, trust. New programs of trust, re-establishing, recalibrating all trust systems. And everything is in ease and grace. So be soft and gentle. Shine your light brighter, more, wider. And the faith is inside. It's in your heart. It's in your connection with the source. It's in your light. It's in your crystal, in your heart. You know, so for all these old programs, not needed anymore, of fear, distrust, disbelief, comparison, all replaced by pure purity, love, light. So, how's everybody doing? Elisabeth.
I'm doing fine, thanks. It's beautiful. It's sunk into my heart.
Wow.
And I'm able to more and more to like go from here and just be here.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
And be open.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Thank you for being so open. Yeah. And whatever happens in the near future, near now future, you can always re-listen to this recording, and then it will even get in different layers of your system and have, of course, then also different effect. But you can always go back to that. And the hand on the heart is something. It's so easy, and it's so helpful. So that's helping also remembering everything back into the heart. So thank you very much for that, Elisabeth.
Thank you.
Jessica.
I love it so much, everything that you do and everyone that's here. And I hope it's okay to share. I felt some visitors come in as you were speaking, and so it was a really good reminder. I just feel the frequencies change. That's all, and it's almost like you can feel someone walking in the room. Um, um, and so I think the message was that we have so much help. We just have to ask, but our help is right here. It's here with us always, so close. And so and we do, when we ask for help, we get it. We do. And to just trust. That's the other part, is trusting that we have guidance, we have help, and we're not alone at all. And so, yeah, there's lots of recalibrating going on in my heart space and trust. And I do feel more connected now after this session. So thank you, Robert, very much. And thank you, everyone here, adding to your energies for this this gathering. You guys are so special. Every single one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. And thank you for being so open that you can feel beings helping or coming around. And so not everybody's open to that yet, somehow, but it's okay. I always say this is one of my helpers, and there's the other one on this picture, but they're around me, and Nico can see them and has met them. And maybe we are different, but it's okay. If you're not open to it, that's also okay. But we believe and can feel that this is really working, and that they are really helping us. And exactly what Jessica was saying is dare to ask for help. And that's not only for the beings, it's also for us amongst each other. It's like Nico always is trying to get something for the collective. This is all working for the collective, and sometimes it helps for your own feeling and your own system growing, or however you want to call it, to actively do some things for the collective. Maybe we can do something for that as well. But first I want to finish the round, but it's very important that the openness, what everybody is showing here, is very, very, very important. And I'm really grateful for that. And I can feel that most beings are using this openness to help us, to support us, to empower us. Maybe Rhonda, you can add something what you experienced.
Am I unmuted? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It was beautiful. A lot of love, which I needed. And then the frequency change, I could hear it. It sounded like wind chimes. It was beautiful. Thank you. Very beautiful.
And beautiful that you could be live in this session. Yeah, that we managed that. Great.
I know. I'm really glad. Thank you all.
And it's also that you brought your energy in this session. That's important, because don't forget, each and everybody of us has his own frequencies, and we bring in our frequencies, and when we combine these frequencies, we create new ones. So it's always important. It's not only the topics we bring in, it's everything. It's the whole package. So be proud of what you do yourself. Saying this, Lex, you are muted.
My God. What I felt in the end is like a beam of light went totally through my body and connected to the central sun and the central sun and the earth. It was like that. It's really beautiful, and I felt my whole body full of light.
Super. For you, close your eyes, Lex. This is just this is additional for everybody. It's the connection to the central sun and the being of light. Do ashia nana ayidata ugu ushura fu ai shur ananashaka shu. We are all antennas. And we are illuminating each other. in all galaxies. And it's the photon of the source, as I call it, in the heart, which is activating all this. So probably that was already the collective work, but because I saw like little antennas all connecting to each other and then spreading out in all universes, and we are the accelerators at this moment for these antennas. That's not that we are the unique beings, because we are just as unique as every being is, but at this moment we were activating it for the now moment, and that's more than enough. So I wish to thank you all enormously. Every Friday at 5 o'clock Amsterdam time, we have this session. It's donation based, but you're free to walk in and walk out, whatever you feel like it. Every time you come in, you bring your own energy. If you're not able to watch it directly live or be there live, you can always see the recordings on YouTube or on Facebook. You can connect with me. Nico is a very powerful healer. Jessica is if I say it right or wrongly, it's just like a vocal healer, and she's very, very connected. Lex is maybe the largest healer of all, but he doesn't yet see it, but he has enormous. Rhonda is a very, very powerful light language bringer, but she has to move a little bit in that. And Lisbeth, you have powers you don't even recognize at this moment. That doesn't matter. They will unfold each other, themselves. Please join us for the next Friday at 5 o'clock if you're able. I will stop the recording now and hope everybody enjoys it. And remember, the more you listen to these recordings, the deeper or the further the coach can come. So do yourself that favor. Hope to see you all again. Thank you very much.